Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining once again. So the presidential debate is officially over, and yes, I did watch. I watched it all the way through to the very last moment when they had their closing arguments. I missed the first 5 minutes. I must confess, only because I forgot it was coming on. I was watching a movie. I was enjoying the movie, and I said, "I got to watch this crazy debate." But I basically watched the entire debate. So I would say, well, you didn't watch the debate, so you can't make a comment on it. Look, I watched it all the way through. I listened to what both of them said, and I think the debate was okay, but I'll get into that a little later. What I want to do in this video, I want to read 21 claims, false claims from Kamala or Vice President Kamala Harris. And please don't talk about, well, you correcting her, you mispronouncing her name. Man, come on, got time for that. This is a conservative site. I ain't even get into that, all that nonsense. Kamala Harris, 21 claims that were false. And I want to read you guys some of these claims, okay? And then I'm going to get into my opinion of the debate, how I feel Donald Trump did, how I feel Kamala Harris did. I am not a media analyst, okay? So for me to sit for 2 hours and sit and listen to this is a lot for me. Okay, to sit and listen for 2 hours of two people just going back at each other, it's a lot. I've done it before, but I just don't like doing it. Oftentimes it's boring and aggravating sometimes, but at any rate, I'm not a media analyst. If you want a media analyst, talk to Mark Dice. He is awesome with that, okay? But I'll do the best I can, okay? But anyway, let's get right into this. Because it's interesting. Everything that's said here, I know it was said by her. And we're going to get right by Kamala Harris, but we're going to get right into what she said for those that did not watch the debate and how it has been debunked. Okay. Vice President Kamala Harris issued a slew of false claims and hoaxes that ABC debate moderators did not fact check during Tuesday's debate against former President Donald Trump. Excuse me. And they did not fact check her. Several times they fact checked Trump, but they didn't fact check Kamala Harris. I'm going to get into that. It says, here are 21 false claims and hoaxes that Harris uttered on live television in front of millions of Americans. Yeah. Number one, the very fine people hoax. And it's crazy that she went back to this, right? It's crazy. Something way back, 1,000 years ago? But anyway, Harris claimed Trump called neo-Nazis in Charlottesville very fine people. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how she goes back in time to try to justify demonizing Trump. But it makes sense. It makes sense because, as Trump said during the conclusion of the debate, she has nothing else to go on other than digging up stuff in the past. But anyway, called neo-Nazis in Charlottesville very fine people, a widely known hoax that Democrats continue to repeat despite it being debunked for years by numerous outlets, including the left-wing fact-checking website Snopes. And that's true. I believe Trump was given an opportunity to rebuttal that. And he said, I did not say that. I did not say. I listened to actually what Trump said. And he denounced the neo-Nazis, and he said that they are not good. He said they are not good people. They need to be condemned. I specifically heard him say that. It wasn't a right-wing conspiracy theory. It wasn't AI. It wasn't made up. None of that. This is literally what he said. And yet, she's still going on this concept that he's calling these, or he called these neo-Nazis and KKK members very fine people. He did not stop it. I guess it's because she's counting on people to be dumb. This is how the Democrats think about American people. They think American people are dumb. But anyway, number two, Project 2025 hoax. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, when she said that, that made me want to upchuck. I'm like, oh my God. How many times have that man said he has nothing to do with that? But anyway, number two, Harris accused Trump of wanting to implement Project 2025. Absolutely, she did that. This is false. Trump has repeatedly stated that he has nothing to do with it and hasn't even read it. Absolutely. I heard the man say it in the debate. I've heard him say it before. Trump promptly corrected Harris on the debate stage, saying, quote, I have nothing to do, as you know, and she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I am not going to read it. And it's absolutely right. Most people don't even know what's in Project 2025. He goes on to say, I have nothing to do with it, Trump added. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. And he didn't have to go into details about that. It was Kamala Harris that had to talk about really what she was going to implement. I mean, everybody knows Trump's plans. He has already made it plain what he wants to do with the economy, what he wants to do with these illegals. He's already made it plain. Why does he even, I mean, the moderators ask him, what's your plan for the economy? Stop it. You already know what he wants to do. You need to be harping on that. Let me go on. But yeah, yeah, this Project 2025 is, and associating Trump with Project 2025 needs to be put to an end. He has nothing to do with that. Project 2025 is from a conservative organization known as Heritage. I think something Heritage. I forget the full name of it. But actually, they send emails to me quite often. Okay. And they're the ones that created Project 2025. And I actually own a PDF version of Project 2025. It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages. I've read some of the stuff. Some of it is good so far that I've read. But I have an actual copy, PDF for actual copy of Project 2025. You can literally download it on your computer. I guarantee you most people don't do that. Most people don't even know what's in it. But they listen to the mainstream news and what they're saying, how they're trying to connect Trump to Project 2025. Shut up. Stop it. Stop it. Let me go on. I'm getting upset. Number 3, false claims on Trump trade deficit. This is a good one. Harris claimed, quote, the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit that was, quote, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. This is patently false. Absolutely correct. Here's why I say it. The trade deficit climbed to around $653 billion in Trump's final year as president, in part because of depressed global demands for U.S. goods and services and a U.S. economy that recovered sooner than most other developed economies. And that would make sense, okay? But the trade deficit never rose to the levels seen under former President George W. Bush or the Biden-Harris administration. Number 4, Putin can, quote, do whatever the hell he wants. I know that's a word. That's what got me. Here, listen to this. That's the part got me when I was listening to this. I'm like, Trump said that? That doesn't even sound like something Trump would say. But anyway, Harris claimed that Trump told Russian President Vladimir Putin that he could, quote, do whatever the hell he want and go into Ukraine. This is false. Trump never told Putin he could do whatever the hell he wants, and he never told Putin he could invade Ukraine. To add insult to injury, this false claim is also coupled with stark gaslighting, given that Putin appears to be doing whatever he wants during the Biden-Harris administration, such as invading Ukraine and not during the Trump administration. And Trump mentioned that. He said when he went over there and negotiated, he said there was no invasion of Ukraine. Biden and Harris get in office. They supposedly negotiated. He invades Ukraine. Who's the winner and loser here? Unbelievable. That's not something why would he? Let me calm down. Then it's talking about one of those. He's going to be a dictator on day one. That's number 5. Dictator on day one hoax. Harris claimed that Trump, quote, wants to be a dictator on day one. This is false. Trump has never said this. Oddly, Harris attempted to justify her false claim by making another false claim, the aforementioned erroneous claim coupled with gaslighting, which was that the 45th president told Putin he could do whatever the hell he wants. No, Trump never claimed to be a dictator, but here's the problem with that. Even if he claimed to be a dictator or wants to be a dictator, our system is made of checks and balances. They're made of checks and balances for a reason, so that a dictator wouldn't take over. That's why we have Congress, we have the House of Representatives, we have the Senate, we have all these checks and balances to keep one particular party or one particular person or party, if you will, from becoming the only party, which is what the Democrats are trying to do right now. So let's quit playing these games. Remarkably, Harris failed to mention that Putin has actually done whatever he wants during the Harris administration. Yeah, right. And I'm not going to read all of this. I was going to read some of these claims. Let me see here. The Central Park. This is claim 11, the Central Park 5 execution hoax, right? Harris claimed that Trump called for the execution of the Central Park 5. This is false. Trump never specifically called for the execution of the Central Park 5 defendants. Breitbart News fact-checked this claim when Democrats made it at their convention last month. And something Trump said when she made that claim. This is what he said specifically during the debate. And I'm paraphrasing some of his words because, like I said, I'm not a media analyst. I can't retain all the stuff. It's over 2 hours long, okay? But he said, this is what they have to do. She has to go all the way back, and this is what she has to do. She has to go all the way back in time, 30, 40 years, for something that she claims I said or done because she doesn't have anything else. And I agree. They got to go all the way back decades to try to find something he said. But he said, if they killed these people, he said, if this woman was horribly injured and died, then they should be punished for it. He said they confessed that they did it. And then all of a sudden they confessed that they didn't do it. He says, but she has to go all the way back decades to try to dig up something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. Because you have nothing on me. So yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Here's the one right here that I literally heard Kamala Harris say during a campaign during a statement. She said, number 13, false fracking claims. Harris claimed she never called to ban fracking. This is false, as she explicitly called to end fracking when running for president in 2019. And I heard her say it. I heard her literally say it. So she's lying. But the moderators didn't get on her. They didn't fact check and say, "Oh, excuse me, holla, I'm about to say holla, whatever, Kamala, holla, tala, balala, whatever. Excuse me, yeah, you did say that." Woo wee! Wow, man, it's just crazy. There's one right here, number 18, and I'm gonna end it here. This is one right here that I thought was just completely insane, right? Number 18 says, terminating the Constitution. Harris claimed that Trump wants to, quote, terminate the U.S. Constitution. Anybody got any sense should be able to know that that's false. But anyway, this is false. Trump does not want to, quote, terminate the Constitution and has refuted this lie himself. Her claims likely stems from Trump's reaction in 2022 to a bombshell New York Post report that the Democratic Party colluded with what was then known as Twitter to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story ahead of the 2020 presidential election. And he got away with that. I don't hear nothing about the Hunter Biden. Nothing about it. Nothing about it. They still pooting and farting and snotting about with Hunter. I don't even know if he's paying anything or going to jail or whatever. It's just ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. And Trump's answer to that, let me see Trump's answer. He says, Trump's answer to terminating the Constitution. He says, the fake news is actually trying to convince the American people that I said I wanted to terminate the Constitution. Trump said in the 2022 Truth Social post, well, this is some years ago, this is simply more disinformation and lies, just like Russia, and all their hoax and scams. What I said was that when there is a massive and widespread fraud and deception, as has been irrefutably proven in the 2020 presidential election, steps must be immediately taken to right the wrong, Trump added. That makes sense. That's not overriding the Constitution like the Democrats are trying to do, like these Marxist, communist Democrats are trying to do, but that's another story, okay? Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I'm going to read one more. I'm going to read number 21. Number 21, taking guns away. Harris claimed that she and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, quote, are not taking anyone's guns away. Now, anybody with any sense ought to be able to know that is just simply not true. I shouldn't even go into the detail. I shouldn't even read the rest of this. This is false. It just goes on to say, okay, Harris has campaigned on banning AR-15s and other guns that Democrats label, quote, assault weapons. Yes, she has. That's a fact. Not my opinion. It's a fact. I've heard her say it. I've seen her say it. I heard her say it. I smelt her say it. Okay. Just last month, during their first campaign events together, Harris and Walz pushed for a ban on AR-15s and other guns. Why do these people get up here and blatantly lie? It's amazing to me. And it seems to suggest to me that maybe they're doing it once again because they think American people are dumb. Either that or they feel American people just forget. And unfortunately, some Americans do forget what just happened. Like they could literally see them saying, we're going to ban AR-15s. We're going to ban other guns. Woo, 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 woo. A month later, they get up and say, we didn't say that. You lying piece of doo-doo. You did say that. Politicians, boy. While ABC's debate moderators Lindsay Davis and David Murr failed to fact-check the plethora of false claims and hoaxes uttered by Harris, they frequently tried to fact-check Trump. Yes, they did. With Murr and even bizarrely fact-checking a joke the 45th president had previously made. Yeah, they did. I've heard him, and I know I heard him because I watched the debate. Okay? Yeah, they did. And on a couple of occasions, they interrupted Trump, okay, while he was trying to talk. And I remember a couple of times when Kamala Harris would spit her lie, Trump would try to rebuttal it, but they had turned his microphone off. And you hear them, and all of a sudden they turn the microphone on. You know, it's sick and disgusting. It's sick and disgusting. I never heard that happen with Kamala Harris, and it's because she didn't have to rebuttal anything necessarily because it seemed like the moderators were on her side more. Now, let me be, in all fairness, in terms of the moderators, I don't feel, and someone had made this statement that Trump was battling three people, Kamala Harris and the two moderators. I can kind of understand that because they didn't fact check Kamala Harris for all the lies she spit out of her that thing that's called a mouth on her head. And they, on several occasions they fact checked Trump. Okay, I can understand that part right there. But I feel like these moderators did better than what was that other guy's name? Where Trump was in the had a debate with Biden, the first debate that Trump had with Biden, not the last one here, not the last one where Biden was dead, brain dead, the first one, when Biden was running to be president, yeah. Chris Walz, I think is his name. That was horrible. That was horrible the way the moderator did it. Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President. I mean, he kept it was just horrible. They didn't do that here. I feel like to some extent they allowed Trump to rebuttal Kamala Harris's false claims. But I feel like on the other part, they kind of jabbed him in the side by not allowing his microphone to be on the full time. And like I said earlier, he would try to speak to rebuttal or refute what Kamala Harris said, and you could only hear him muffling. I'm wondering, who in the world is that? Oh, that's Trump. Then all of a sudden they come in. So, you know what I mean? But they did allow him to say some things, to rebuttal her. And I appreciated that, okay? Although they would be like, okay, Mr. Trump, we got some other things, President Trump, we got some other things we want to talk about and get into. But they also said that with Kamala Harris, we got some other things we want to talk about and get into on a couple of occasions with her as well. So, fair exchange, no robbery, But overall, in my opinion, like I said, I'm not a media analyst, but from what I can gather, from what I can remember, from what I can kind of understand, I think that Trump did, in my opinion, better than Kamala Harris in the sense that what I mean by better is he hammered the open border situation, the illegal aliens. He hammered that quite often. And I feel that was a good thing. And I feel that he had the the edge on her with the illegal immigration situation, because that's a major, major problem in our country. And in my next video, I'm going to address that from an article dealing with what 20,000 Haitians, and I kind of mentioned it in my last video, but in my next video I'm going to do one on that, on these Haitians in, I think, Springfield, Ohio, which is my home state. So we're going to go into that in detail. But yeah, that's a major issue here. That's a major issue, and he should have hammered her with that. And I think most Americans, regardless of whether you're Democrat or Republican, whatever, is against that. It would make no sense for any American to be in support of open borders no matter what. Don't vet anybody. Don't check anybody. Not only do you have villain sweating gangs coming in here, okay, but what people fail to realize is that you have another gang known as MS-13. They've been around since 2013. 2013, MS-13, weird, right? But they've been around for quite some time. MS-13, in many ways, is worse than the Venezuelan gangs. These people, I'm not going to be graphic here because this YouTube would be taken down, but they do things that are bloody to innocent people, okay? And think about that for a moment, okay? Yeah, they do that, okay? Nobody's talking about them. All of a sudden, the MS-13 gang disappeared? They're involved in all kinds of stuff. And I'm not going to get into it here, but all kinds of illegal activities, the MS-13 gang, and I think they're from El Salvador, okay, that they're involved in. And part of the reason for that is because of open borders. And no one is vetting them. No one's finding out these criminals coming over here. Clearly, they're a criminal organization. But you wouldn't know, right? Like I said before, it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But anyway, yeah, that's what I think about. These are a bunch of lies on the part of Kamala Harris. And but overall, in terms of the debate, I thought it was okay. I didn't see the debate between Trump and Biden where Biden was brain dead. I saw clips of that. If I did see it, I don't remember. But I don't think I saw it. You know, I saw clips of it, okay? And many said Trump did really good, okay? This one, he did relatively well, in my opinion. He did better than he did, way better than he did the first debate that he had with Biden when Biden was running to be president, okay? And Trump was running for his second term to be reelected. He did better than that. But overall, I feel he did okay. And it wasn't his best, but I think he did okay. He hammered on the illegal immigration situation, and he was, for the most part, permitted to refute the lies from Kamala Harris, for the most part. Now, I may have left some things out because, like I said, it was 2 hours of that. You know what I mean? And I didn't hear the first 5 minutes because of the debate, because I forgot it was on. I was watching the movie and I was enjoying myself, and then I forgot it was on. I said, "Oh God, I gotta get rid of my joy." Right? Kamala Harris's campaign is built on joy, right? But I had to get rid of my joy in watching the movie and get depressed by listening to her lie and talk nonsense. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, that's my spin on that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.